Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Waller's Wallet, and the other day I had seen a few comments talking about the Chase travel portal and them not showing access to certain larger airlines. So I was just floating around the internet taking a look at award flights, and I saw a few things that made me think there was some things going on with the Chase travel portal. And I asked a question in the community tab if you think the Chase travel portal has a higher cost than other OTAs. And it looks like most of you either don't think so or don't know because your 1.5 cents per point with your reserve is just that good. So for those of you who don't know, last year Chase moved their travel portal services over to Expedia. And with Chase partnering with Expedia, you would assume you'd have the same pricing or options, especially when it says from Chase that card members will have access to Expedia's group's best-in-class travel inventory. But I don't believe that to actually be the case. Now, I've seen plenty of comments and examples where hotel prices were different, but usually airfare is something I'd never really see be too different until I started looking just a little bit more just the other night. And I started to wonder, is Chase blocking certain airlines, or does Chase just not have complete access to Expedia? Now, if Chase is blocking certain airlines or even options, this could really be reducing the value of your points by inflating the prices for their own travel portal, which means your 1.5 cents per point value you get from your Chase Sapphire Reserve really isn't as good as advertised. So I decided to take a look at a few examples to see if there's any real price difference or even airline booking issues. And really, in just a few examples, I found it to be quite disappointing. Now, when I was doing my searches, I was just looking for the lowest cost options. And I did that to see if there were any options missing that would actually reduce our cost. And at the same time, booking through the travel portals may not always be the most ideal way to book your travel because you should always be comparing the cash prices through the travel portal versus transferring your points. And in searching for my examples, there were a few options that had basic economy, but you had the option to upgrade to economy if you wanted to at checkout. So let's start with our first example, from New York to Lima, Peru. And this one here is going to be from August 8th to August 17th. Now, if you were to book through the Chase travel portal, it would cost you $662 to fly Interjet. And if you were to use your Chase Sapphire Reserve points, well, it would cost you 44,164 ultimate reward points. But when you go over to Expedia, you'll notice Expedia has you flying on Aeromexico for $600.26. The Chase travel portal cost about 10% more than Expedia. And if Chase were to offer the $600 route, it would only cost you 40,000 ultimate reward points. But even if you filter Chase to just Aeromexico flights, it doesn't even show the Expedia Aeromexico flight as an option. And the lowest Aeromexico flight was $774. Now let's take a look at example number 2. This was from Oklahoma City to Tokyo, and you'd be leaving November 7th and returning on November 15th. And if you were to book your ticket from Oklahoma City to Tokyo through the Chase travel portal, it would be flying Delta Airlines at $1,613. And over at Expedia, you would fly a combination of United and Asiana Airlines for $1,427.08. This makes Chase 13% more expensive than the offer you found on Expedia. And Chase doesn't even have the option to fly Asiana when you look at the flights through the Chase travel portal. Now let's take a look at our third example, flying from Boston to Lisbon, Portugal on July 12th to July 19th. And the Chase travel portal shows you can book Aer Lingus for $932, but that same flight over at Expedia is $900.50, which would cost you just about an even 60,000 ultimate reward points if you could book this with your Chase Sapphire Reserve through the Chase travel portal. And while this is only a 4% price difference, you'd effectively be reducing the value you'd be receiving from your points since the price from Chase is higher for the same flight that you'd book on Expedia. Now, for our last two examples, I decided we'd look at a few domestic itineraries as opposed to looking at international. And for our fourth example, we're going to be flying from Washington, D.C. to Denver, Colorado on December 5th, flying back on December 9th. Now, Chase is offering a basic economy ticket on Delta Airlines for just $234 or 15,600 ultimate reward points, which I don't think really is a bad value. And frankly, with my Delta Gold card, and I'm still getting my benefits from that card, I'm starting to really care less about picking my seat and saving more miles for future trips. But Expedia is offering a round-trip ticket for just $181.63. Chase is 29% more expensive than Expedia. Sure, on this itinerary you're going to fly home on Frontier Airlines, but one issue with the Chase travel portal is you cannot currently book low-cost carriers such as Spirit, Southwest, or even Frontier, which I think is unfortunate because some people would use their points for flying these airlines, especially people who like to fly Southwest Airlines. Now let's take a look at one more option, flying from Charlotte to San Francisco on December 13th, returning December 17th. And when looking to book travel from Charlotte to San Francisco, the Chase travel portal will have you paying $360.90 or 24,060 ultimate reward points to fly Delta Airlines. Now over at Expedia, you're actually being charged $398.50 for the same exact flight. So in this example, Chase is actually 9% cheaper than Expedia. Now I'm not sure how or even why Expedia has the more expensive flight, but it really just shows that the pricing is not consistent between Chase and Expedia, even though Expedia powers Chase travel. Now I always think it's important to take a look at your options, either to transfer your points or use one of the online travel agencies to use your points through one of those methods. But you can see just from these 5 examples that Chase does not match Expedia in their inventory or even their pricing, which I find to be a real problem. It could be that Expedia isn't offering Chase their full array of options for airfare, especially when it comes to the lowest cost possibilities for booking airfare. But I think there could be the possibility that Chase is either blocking or choosing to not use options that could be best for their customers. And if Chase is reducing options for a lower cost for their customers, then that means you're going to need to spend more money or more points for that flight, which really reduces your overall value you receive from your Chase Ultimate Reward points booking through the Chase travel portal. And I think this is more disappointing when you consider the fact Chase wants to market their Sapphire Reserve with a great 1.5 cents per point value when you book through that Chase travel portal. But if Chase doesn't have or give you access to the same lower pricing or even the same inventory as Expedia, then there's an increased possibility of the price being inflated. And that means reducing your actual value that you're going to receive from your Chase points. So tell me, have you seen pricing issues when looking at the Chase travel portal? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Or if you know somebody who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And if you want to help support the channel, a simple way would be to use the links on our website or even in the descriptions below. Remember, I post new videos every Thursday, so if you like learning about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, or just flat out traveling for less, consider hitting the subscribe button down below, and I'll see y'all next week. Safe travels and take care.